Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Endless Race podcast, episode 17. Yet again, another banger of an episode. Because today we have a very special guest who goes by the name of Mr. Tom. And in today's conversation, we touch upon one of his businesses, which is called Fitter Fathers, which is all based around fatherhood. It was a great conversation that we have. I love what he's doing. And also, we touch upon his amazing and inspirational weight loss journey. You know, Tom was able to lose more than 30 kg in the space of 3 years. So we touch upon that as well. I hope you guys are enjoying the episodes. I am. I for sure am. And we've definitely got some bangers coming soon. So, as always, I enjoyed the episode. He enjoyed the episode. Let's stay consistent. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. So, as we were saying, we were talking about the endless race. And you just mentioned about passing it on to your kids. I know that you have I say we start off with, I know you've got a company.
Yeah.
Fitter Fathers.
Fitter Fathers, yeah.
Yeah. So what is that kind of all about?
Okay, so Fitter Fathers is about making fathers become the better version of themselves. The initial starts with, I've been working with children all my life, and the biggest implication I've seen in children's lives are lack of father leadership.
Okay.
So as a father myself, working with children, I seem to be a lot of their main role models, and the negative role models that the fathers can have on them is through health, work, mental health. And if the fathers aren't leading by example, then how do we expect the next generation or generations beyond that to have an understanding? Mm-hmm. So being a closed book is what I used to be.
Okay.
I don't want to express myself. I don't want to look after myself. And I'm not thinking that at the time. I'm thinking Thomas is the happiest Thomas he can be, because I am where I am. I've got my wife, my fiance, girlfriend at the time. I've got my children. I've got my place. That's all I need. But it wasn't until, say, just before COVID, my brothers called me up and said, Thomas, can I swear? Is it all right to swear on that?
Yeah, you can swear.
Listening, Thomas, you're a fucking idiot, man. What's going on with your life? You're overweight, you're going to die young, your children aren't going to get to see you grow old, you're not going to see your grandchildren. And that's to put it politely.
Okay.
And I had to really take a step outside of where I am, which is my comfort zone. And that's where I was, comfort. It's like, Thomas, like, you're comfortable, but it's comfort where you want to be. No, I want to be better. I don't want my children to look like me. Yeah. I don't want my children to be in the same predicament financially as me. So what am I going to do about it? I'm going to have to get uncomfortable. And that was like my journey. 2 years on, we can get a bit more into the details of my journey. It's like, I see all the fathers, like I said, I see the fathers of the children I look after on a day-to-day basis in the same predicament, going to work 9 to 5, shit jobs, don't like it. What are they doing it for?
Yeah.
Unhealthy, eating shit, like looking for materials. And it's like, you know what? Take 2 steps back, as we're saying about the game of life. Forget about the materials. Forget about the objections that you want. Forget about going to fancy restaurants. Just look at where you really want to be.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm not a father, so everything that you're saying is something that I will need to consider. And I would say with my parents, I would say they had a good upbringing with me.
Yeah.
I would like to say that the 5 of us were raised pretty well. Not to blow our own trumpet, but a lot of, back in primary school, secondary school, our teachers would always remember the Nathaniel's family.
Okay, yeah.
And it's interesting that you say that. And from what you see from the children that you look after, is this for the Simply
Kids, yeah.
Simply Kids. What is one of the things that you see from the fathers?
I don't see enough of them. That's what the biggest thing is. I don't see enough of fathers engaging in young people's lives.
Okay, and do you mainly see the mothers picking the kids up, or is it
99% mums? 99% mums picking up their children all the time. 99% of mums dealing with them. 99% of mums going to parents' evening. Fathers turn up for normally accolades, events, like big parts of their life. But for me, consistency is more important than major events and the journey. So a part of my journey now, which I've only just started, like during COVID, I listened and read books, but COVID come to an end, life's busier. This year I've said to myself, I'm going to read. So I read 10 pages of a book every day. Why do I do that? I want my children to read every day.
Okay.
How can I tell them to do something if I am not physically doing it myself?
Yeah.
So sit down, my daughter, you know what, you're going to read. I don't want to read. Well, I don't want to read either, but you're going to read and then we're going to talk about what you read.
Yeah, I like that, creating discipline with your children.
Yeah, I'm reading a book now, it's called Self-Discipline, and no one's born with self-discipline. It's like a muscle, and you work at it. So I didn't like reading. Did I not like reading, or I never read before?
Yeah.
And that's the way you got to look at everything. When I was overweight, do I not like healthy food, or do I just prefer scoffing loads of rubbish? And change that. And if you don't do it drastically, you do it nice and slow, it becomes a disciplined part of your life then on, and you forget that you're doing it.
Yeah, literally, it becomes a point where if you don't do it, it's like, oh, I haven't read my 10 pages today.
I actually didn't read last night, and I woke up this morning and I'm like, fucking hell, I didn't read. Like, that's taking the piss. But like you said, now it's part of my life where if I don't do it, I physically don't feel like I've done the right thing that day.
Yeah.
I go for a walk every day. Again, started this year with my wife. So beforehand, we'd always complain we don't have enough time together. Well, I don't have enough time together because I'm doing shit. I'm watching TV. We want to watch a film. We want to do this. We want to do that. But it doesn't involve us spending physical time together and having a conversation.
Yeah.
Every night now we do a 2.5K walk where we can reflect on the day, talk to each other a bit more, and try to find a ground where we can meet rather than rushing it through because the kids want something, because food needs to be done, the washing needs to be done. Stop making excuses and slowly implement things that you want to change.
Yeah, no, definitely. So like you said, one thing that I do every morning now is I have a cold shower.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have cold showers.
I do when I go to the gym,
Yeah, okay. And it's like one of those things now, when I wake up and I don't have a cold shower, it's like, oh, okay, I don't really feel right.
Because you become accustomed to it.
Yeah, I have.
Maybe you should try going to bed with a cold shower, because that's another thing that is that in the discipline book. Like sometimes we become so accustomed to something, it becomes nothing. So you saying you have a cold shower every day to me is now, fucking hell, like that's hard.
Yeah.
But you do it naturally. But what about if you switch it up a little bit and say, you know what, I'm going to go to bed with a cold shower, because now that's going to be shit again. You know, like obstacles are there for us to fight and overcome because they're part of the journey. When we start avoiding things to be comfort, I think you might as well be dead. That's when you start stagnating in life and you start thinking, I'm in a good place. Like, there's nothing wrong with stacking shelves in Tesco's. I'm just going to use it as an example, right? If that's what you want to do, by all means do it. If it's the only job. But once you become comfortable and you don't want to go to the manager of Tesco's or Sainsbury's, don't want a product place unless you're getting paid in it. But once you stagnate in a certain area, you might think you're comfortable, but you're not. You are actually going backwards every step of the way, because inflation's going up. Your wage don't go up as quick as inflation. Your rent doesn't go up as quick as inflation. Your wage don't go up as quick as your rent does. You're doing the same shit you did yesterday, and for the next 10 years, I feel sorry for you. Like, you might in your head mentally, but I think that's part of why our mental health in this country and in this world is getting problems at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's interesting that you say that, because I think a lot of us, the reason why we don't want to change is because we're too comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that's just a massive issue with a lot of us. Even with me, sometimes, like, I'm so comfortable in my job that I don't want to do the things that I know I should be doing that's going to make me a better person.
It's the fear of what we might become. I was at a seminar the other day, and we were talking about change, and the gentleman that was talking on stage was talking about how before you decide to change, make sure that person you want to become is the person you want to be. So weigh up the options. Like, simply, I didn't do this before I lost weight, but Thomas losing weight, what does that look like as a person? Like, do you want to be that person potentially? So what's the bad side? Yes, your health is better, but are you more ignorant? Are you a bit more self-obsessed about yourself? Do you become anorexic because you take it too far? Do you just look at where you want to be? Because again, it isn't for everybody that change, because everyone wants to be an entrepreneur now.
Yep.
Everybody thinks that is the way forward, but the reality is, number one, not everyone can be an entrepreneur because the world don't work like that.
Yep.
But some of us don't have the brains to be that. Some of us don't have the skills to do that. Some of us are meant to be servers. Like, it's not a thing of stay in your lane, but don't follow the crowd. Be who you're meant to be. Stop worrying about, again, this is I told you I talk a lot and I start going on.
Go for it.
The narrative that we tell ourselves about ourselves is massive. Was talking downstairs about my brothers, and bringing it up here. I put a post up the other day, and there was a narrative that I told myself about them. They were better than me. Both brothers are professional athletes, lean, fast, strong. I used to always get told Thomas should have been a professional football player. And at one point it was like, I shouldn't have been a professional football player because I didn't have the discipline and dedication they had. So I was never going to be that. So growing up, it was like, fuck me. Everyone wants to know them too. No one don't want to know me.
Yeah.
They're special. Thomas is just Thomas, does what he's doing around the corner. That's who he is. So it became an issue of, I was putting myself down about it. So what would that be? Okay, I can't be faster than them. I can't be fitter than them. I can't earn more money than them. I can't be more famous. I'm going to be the strong brother. So concentrating on weights, but not knowing what to do. Downloading PDF weights programs, eating loads of food to get bigger, just end up fat. Because the narrative I told myself was, I can't be better than them.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't have been a thing of being better than them. Why should I be better than my brothers?
Yeah.
They don't think they're better than me. But I didn't express that to anybody. That was something that I kept inside until I was old enough to have conversations with them. And like you said, I put it up as a post yesterday, but I'd never had that exact conversation with them. I didn't tell them that I was ashamed to be around them because it was me being the bigger but smaller brother.
Yeah.
So now it's like, you know what? We can all stand under the light at the same time doing different things. They're both still fitter than me, but I tell you what, I'm going to catch them
Exactly.
at something. It might not be speed or anything, but we can all celebrate each other's successes and support each other's failures.
Yeah. Would you say that you were close with your brothers back in the when you were kids? Like, how was your upbringing with your brothers?
Me and my brothers, again, when I go, like, statistically, we should all probably be in prison. We was in foster care for a certain amount of time. When our mum got put into a mental institution.
Okay.
Then mum and dad were both alcoholics, fighting each other backwards and forwards. Dad come back in, took us up. Alcoholic throughout his life, again, died of alcoholism in the end. But we always had each other. The house was full of love. But like I said, statistically, single parent, alcoholics. I just about went to school. Damien was bad in school. Sean didn't go to school because he was a footballer from young. So, but we had each other all the time. So there was always support. Much as my dad drank, there was always food on the table. There was always love in the house.
Yeah.
Disciplined us, didn't beat us, but scared of his look, scared of his voice. And it was a house of love more than anything else.
Yeah. That's always a good thing because, you know, usually when it's like a single parent home, there's always issues. And to see you, obviously I rarely know you, but I can tell that you've had a good upbringing and you live by the rules of life. You know that life's not fair.
100%.
And in this world, you've got to work hard. If you don't work hard, you're not going to get to where you want to get to. So I was contemplating, I couldn't figure out the team because you posted or you were tagged in a post.
Yeah.
And it was the football team. What football team was that?
What post was I tagged in?
I can't remember, but there's a picture of you, and I think it was you back when you used to play football. Is it Huddersfield?
No, that's my brother. So
That's your brother. Oh my
little
God.
brother played for Crystal Palace, Huddersfield, Grimsby, Doncaster, Blackpool. Maybe not Doncaster. But he's still playing. He's at Grimsby now. He's just recovering from injury.
Okay.
So he's played for a number of teams. He was in the Premiership, but never got a run out in the Premiership. I think he's got like 400 or 500 games at Championship level.
Okay.
Damien played, I think the highest he got was League One, but plenty of accolades. And now he's kind of where I want to be for the fitness-wise, running his Super Dad program.
Yeah.
So we're fitness and family now, like everyone's in something. But like I said, Sean's excelled. He even got called up for Ireland. Didn't get there in the end, and obviously he's coming to retirement now. But hopefully he joins us, and we have a freeway father's fitness thing where we try to improve men's health.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. So your gym journey, let's talk about that. Let's dive into that. So,
I'm almost 6 stone down.
Yeah.
Over the last, it's probably 3 years now because COVID's a year over now, isn't it? So yeah. So my gym journey, like I said, it was a call from my brother Damien that started the gym journey off. When COVID started, like obviously my main business is children, so schools were shut down. I had no business, so Boris had given me 6 months off work. So literally Me and my missus went Costco. I bought 3 bottles of Ciroc, a bottle of Hennessy.
Oh my God.
It was summer. I just built an outhouse in the garden. I was like, no, I'm about to get drunk every day for the summer. Like, wake up in the morning, do what I need to do. And then like about 4 or 5 days into it, it was like, no, this ain't me, man. This can't be what I call life.
Yeah.
So I had some shit mountain bikes. And rather than get up and fuck about, every morning I started getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and going for a bike ride.
Yeah.
So I was proud of myself. I went out for a 5K bike ride. My bum was hurting, everything like that. And then it slowly built up to a point I was going out for 3-4 hours a morning. And then I started on my brother's program, fitness-wise, and bike riding become running. And I was always someone that told myself, I can't run, I don't like running.
Yeah.
But once the weight started coming off, like running become natural. It's like, do you know what? I can put my headphones on, listen to Joe Rogan podcast, listen to David Goggins' book, How They Overcome Shit in Their Life, relate it to myself and push me to whatever I need to do, which obviously ended with me doing the marathon last year, doing the Brighton Marathon. Best feeling ever. I can't explain to you, like I'm an emotional person, but I try to keep it inside. Last 3 miles of the marathon, right, I got to a pain point and obviously people called it the wall. And I was running and I hit the wall. And I felt like crying. I was there and I was like, I can't do this, I can't do that. And then David Goggins was on in my headphones, and then obviously everyone knows David Goggins started calling me a bitch and everything like that. Started telling me like, you need to knock this wall down. And then I finished the last 3 miles faster than I'd done any other 3 miles.
Oh, wow.
But I've never experienced anything like it. And now that's led me on to, I want to compete in an ultra marathon. I want to do anything. This time next year, there's a 240-mile run in the Midlands, from somewhere in the Midlands to Scotland, that I want to do. I think it's over 4 days.
Yeah.
But I think it's about pushing myself physically, mentally and spiritually in every way that I can now.
Yeah, that's good. I've always told myself that I want to do a marathon, just basically on the fact of, you know, the wall that you face, pushing through when your flipping legs are hurting. But doing an ultra marathon, or have you heard of the Ironman?
I will do Ironman. I need to learn to swim first.
Ironman is something that I don't know, I just feel it's a bit boring just running for 23 miles.
But that's the heart of it, to prove to yourself you can do something. Like, I never thought I'd do a marathon. I remember, again, like I said, now I try to compete at whatever I can. My thing is like, if there's a competition, I don't want to win. I'm not going there to win. I know I'm not going to win. I'm going there to compete against myself. There's a thing called the Hyrox, and I've done it twice now. And the first time I done it was not last year, the year before. And it got to a point, I think there's 2 exercises left to do, no, maybe 3 after this one. And it's 250 meters of lunging with 25 kg on your back. But bearing in mind, beforehand, you've already done 6 kilometers of running, but every time you do a run, you do another exercise.
Oh God.
So I'm probably 50 minutes into it. Nah, I'm lying because I took long to finish it. I'm probably an hour into it, and I'm getting into it and I can't physically do no more. Like my quads and everything are in pieces, but my daughter's watching me. And then you just hear her shout, "Come on, daddy." Like, I had to finish it. There was no way, but I couldn't finish it. And for me, that's like how you lead by example. I'm not there to be a dictator to my children. I'm there to show them that you can overcome things by pushing against it.
Resistance.
Resistance.
Beating that resistance is obviously the hardest thing, especially when it comes to physical pain.
Physical pain, but then, like I said, the reading, I'm not a reader. I didn't find out I had dyslexia till I was like 32. I went to go to university, really struggling, like, no, this can't be right. Like, how can I do this? But I didn't know that because I didn't go to school when I was younger. So that's why I didn't find out when I was younger. So when I'm an adult, I'm going to go to university. Like, I can read, but I can't read at the speed that other people read. I can't put my thoughts into writing like other people. So I've really struggled with that. And it's like, okay, let's go and do it. Okay, Thomas, you got dyslexia. This is what you struggle with. Like, now I know. So now, anybody that tells me they got dyslexia, which a few people do, they can't do this, like, well, that's just an excuse. You just want an excuse to stop you from doing. That's, again, the narrative you're telling yourself is this dyslexia is getting in your way. So daddy reads, daddy's got dyslexia. Dyslexia, I don't care about it. Like, I wouldn't turn up to a job interview and say, I've got dyslexia. What's all that about? Like,
exactly.
No, I'm going to overcome whatever the job interview I think I can do with what I have. So why am I going to tell you I've got dyslexia? I might, if I need to study, I might do it, but I've never ever brought it up as a thing of I can't do this because of dyslexia.
Yeah.
That's just now I know what I've got. Let's find out a way to get over it. There's obstacles put in your way for you to either adapt to or to knock over, and that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, you can't really be using those types of dyslexia as an excuse. Like you said, a lot of people would do that. But there's always ways to learn. Just because you're putting a label on yourself doesn't mean it should prevent you from reading or creating that business or doing whatever. And again, it's probably because they're comfortable. They don't want to.
They don't want to 100%.
Yeah.
Once you've been diagnosed with something, I don't care what it is, it's time to adapt. There's a guy that does high rocks with one leg.
Yeah.
Right? One leg. Do you know, he overtook me. Do you know how bad I felt about myself? Like, I've got two legs. Again, nothing wrong with having one leg, but I would expect someone on two legs to be able to beat someone in a running race with one leg, because you've got 50% of what I've got.
Exactly.
So it should potentially is 50% harder for you, and you're beating me. So once you know what the problem is, you adapt to it and you change to it. So no matter what it is, like I said, again, I haven't had a massive illness in my life, but if you've been given something and you've been told that this is the outcome, you adapt to it, you change your lifestyle to it. You write down, I'm going to be dead in 3 months. Why whinge about it? Let's change my lifestyle to fit that, so I get to love everybody in my life, because I know my outcome is 3 months. So what am I going to do in the next 3 months to live the best 3 months of my life? And I personally feel that's how we should all live. Stop being the victim. Let's just celebrate our lives.
Exactly. And you mentioned about adapting. So what was your heaviest? So for those that don't know,
my heaviest is about 137 kilograms.
Damn, 137.
Yeah, I don't know what that is in stone.
How old were you then?
3 years ago, so what, 36? I might have been heavier beforehand, but
now you weigh.
My lightest so far has been 88, but it goes up and down because like I'm at a point where I can't run because I injured my knee. So depending on what I'm eating for the week, I go up and down. Yeah.
So let's talk about that journey. First of all, I remember you mentioned at the start, you got to that position because you were looking up to your brothers and you felt as though you couldn't perform or do as well as them. So is that the avenue that you took, thinking, okay, I'm going to go down this avenue, but it took the wrong path? Is that what you expected?
The narrative that I was telling myself at the time, and still do in some aspects now, it's a constant battle with myself, is that if I can't compete at something, or I can't be better than you, I quit. I move on to the next thing. And that's with everything in life. So if me and you were playing basketball, and obviously you're going to be better than me at basketball, I don't even want to fucking play basketball no more.
Yeah.
I don't even want to try and get better because you're better than me. Trying to catch you is not even worth my while. And so I'd quit. So I can't run. It's not because I can't run. It's because I can't keep up with people. I can't lift weights. Not because I can't lift weights, but because I can't keep up with you. And I don't like the idea of not being able to compete. I don't like the idea, or didn't like the idea of asking for help. And a lot of us struggle with that, is asking for help. How can I come to you and ask you to teach me? You're younger than me. How old do you say?
I'm 23.
So you're 23, you're 13 years younger than me. You're a better basketball player than me, and I'm going to go and ask you for help. That's my ego being here.
Yeah.
So now it's like...
But that's the issue. That's the ego kicking in.
Yeah, it's the ego kicking in.
Regardless of age, that shouldn't be a case of, he's older than me, so I shouldn't ask for advice.
Mate, regardless of age, sex, gender, whatever you want to call it, if you know something, we're talking about... is it FBA? You was doing?
Yeah, Amazon FBA.
Why would I think I know more than you to give you advice? You've been doing it. You've been doing your courses. You understand it. What am I going to do? Tell you something I just watched off Instagram?
Yeah, exactly.
You've lived it, so I have to come to you. But previously, I wouldn't do that. I would be like, I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
Because I can't come to you and ask for help. And that's another reason why I struggled in school. Probably why a lot of people struggle in school, because I didn't like asking for help. Especially
as men, I think there's this narrative or this stereotype that, men shouldn't ask for help. And I think that, especially on a younger generation, fucks a lot of kids up, because they think, I can't have this conversation with my dad, or I can't speak to my parents about this, which is a big issue, because they shouldn't feel like that.
It's difficult from a child's point of view, because they shouldn't feel like that. But like I said, my parenting style has changed quite massively over the years. And it's like, rather than being a dictator father, I want to be the explainer father, the I'm not perfect father. I've done this, I've done that, I've made my mistakes. I know you're going to make your mistakes. Here's my advice. Now let's see how it plays out. Because I understand that the more I scold them, number one, they're not going to want to ask for help because every time they come to me, I'm going to be the one that's coming down their throat.
Yeah.
And I know they need to make their own mistakes because life's about the scars.
Agreed, most definitely. So with your weight loss journey, what was the hardest challenge in losing that weight? Because that's a lot of weight. That's what, 40?
The hardest challenge in losing that weight.
Was it discipline? Because obviously you've built habits now of eating junk food, etc., etc. How did you? Obviously, it was a mindset thing, right? You know, you would not be able to do that if you didn't have with the mindset that you had of being overweight. So, what were you doing to get to a point where you were able to lose that weight by changing your mind? Was it discipline?
Obviously my wedding was coming up, so that's the first thing. So I had a goal that I had to get to. So even then, I'm still 13 kilograms lighter than what I was when I got married. So I wish I got married now, to be fair. But the hardest part is I like to eat out. I love food. I love to go out and eat different types of food. I love it. I haven't eaten out this year. So I've just looked at my Uber Eats. I haven't got a takeaway. So just my Uber Eats alone, I think I've saved £1,000. And
that's
then
good.
Every time we go out for a meal with the family, it's at least £200 because there's a lot of us. So it's £200 at least each time we go out to a restaurant. So I've saved money, number one, but that was the hardest thing, is saying no to eating out. Say just like, you know what, I'm going to stay indoors. And like I actually haven't had a single takeaway this year.
That's good.
I'm down another, I went up a little bit over Christmas. And then, so I've lost another, 7-8 kg since Christmas. And that's just solely not eating out. I haven't improved my fitness routine because, like I said, I messed up my knee, so I haven't been able to run. Last week I didn't train. My principle to fitness is move more, eat less. I know it's very basic, but just by walking every day and consuming less rubbish, you'll lose weight naturally.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I was going to ask you a question. That's it. How has your life changed from overweight Tom to the Tom that you are now?
I'm more energetic. I'm more, I care about more how I look. I try to, if you obviously probably not know me forever, but you know me for a few years now.
Yeah.
I used to always wear shorts. And that, obviously everyone knew me as shorts and t-shirt Tom. Because I'm fat and I'm sweating all the time. Yeah. Like when it's hot outside, I'm melting. When it's cold, I'm still hot because I've got so much body weight on me. So my body temperature, so I care more about the way I look and I respect myself a lot more. Okay. I have more self-esteem. I want to be, I want to look better. I now see how when I was at a heavier weight, I was unhappy with the way I looked, unhappy with the way I felt about myself. And carried myself that way. Don't need to iron my shit. Don't need to do this. Don't need to look after my hair. Don't need to do everything. But the moment I started feeling more secure in myself because I knew I was working towards being a healthier, better version of myself, the more I started to appreciate who I really was.
And that's one thing. I don't know what, again, the podcast that I was listening to today, Kevin Hart was talking about, why would you not want to look after yourself? Like, why would you want yourself to get to a state of obesity or, you know?
I don't think we see that. Obviously, you've got people now on social media that are obese to get money because they're weirdos. Yeah. But I don't think you see that. Like, you don't feel like you don't love yourself. It's not something, it's not something you question yourself about. It's not because I don't love myself. It's just because I like food. It's just because I'm big boned. It's just because, why don't you iron your clothes? Because I just don't feel like it. Why don't you make your bed? I just don't like making my bed when I get up in the morning. Yeah. It's not until you're really ready to question them things. And that's why everyone's on a different journey. As you said earlier, like I have calls with men all the time. I spoke to about 100 different men in December talking about getting ready for January. Yeah. And some of them, it was crazy. It's like, don't worry, I can do it myself, or I don't have the money, or do you know what, I'm not ready for this journey, or I'm going to do my own New Year's stuff, okay? Go back to 7 of them now. They're worse than what they was in January. But they still can't see that they need the help to get them there.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that I think a lot of us struggle with is accountability.
Yeah.
And is that what I was going to say? What is one of the common issues that you find with the fathers that you teach? Is it the case of them saying that they're going to do something and then they don't? Because you have no one to hold accountable for. They don't want that help, like you said before.
People that are guaranteed success are the people that follow the steps. Some people are so strong-headed that they feel like no matter what I say, it doesn't matter. Like I'm just gonna, people will pay me and not do what I ask them to do.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
That's outrageous.
Like you will pay me and still not want to do what I want to do because, again, I fell into this. My brother recorded it so ages ago. And it's like no matter what someone asks me to do, like I feel I can do it. 90% of men. Again, I make up statistics, by the way, just so you lot know. 90% of men, right, will tell you that their willpower and they've got it in their mind because their brain power so hard and I'll overcome this. If I want to do it, 2 weeks later, back to normal shit. Because you didn't really want to do it. You didn't really, there was no pain for you to get there. My pain in life was the fact that I would have a heart attack. I knew I'd die. Not that maybe I might die. I'm going to die young if I carry on with obesity.
Yeah.
I started my journey in the same, mention no names as, I'm going to change that. I started my journey with a couple of guys and I said, I will take them along my journey, right? And I go back to these guys now and like I said, I wasn't going to charge them because this is before I was coaching. This is literally my brother's programming me. I'm going to do this because I know there's an outcome to this. Just follow me step by step and you will, I promise you, you'll see the results. 18 months in, he stopped. No, he didn't even stop 18 months in. He stopped about 3-4 weeks in. Go back to him, like, Thomas, I'm pre-diabetic. Okay, what do you mean you're pre-diabetic? Yeah, because of that, like, can you help me? Of course I can help you, but you need to do this. A week later, didn't come back to me to help him. Don't worry, I'm doing my own shit. He's bigger now than he's ever been because he doesn't realize what pre-diabetes is. He doesn't realize what a heart attack is coming down the line. And he still thinks that his willpower will help him lose the weight. Your willpower is not going to, we only have so much willpower.
Yep.
It needs to be a slow change in your life where, do you know what, step by step, okay, the first off is, let's not go out for a marathon, let's go out for a 1K walk, let's go out for a 2K walk. But they think their willpower is going to change and anything can change on the spin and like a flip. I'm going to just turn the switch and I'm now going to be super fit for the rest of my life. Yeah. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I think to be fair, I think we're all guilty for that. Like even me, sometimes I think I can just go head first into something that I've never done before. Like especially losing weight, you're not just going to be able to cut your calories by 1,000 or be able to run a marathon. You know, it's 23,000 miles. It's 23 miles, sorry.
That's a big distance, bro.
Like you said, it's getting 1% better every single day.
Yeah.
Whether that be starting off with a walk, then moving it to a jog, then maybe going on a treadmill, and then going for a run. And I think that's what a lot of us struggle with. Like I said, I struggle with that a lot. I always think to myself, and then what ends up happening is I end up quitting. Yeah. Because I do it and I think, fuck this, I'm not good enough, I can't be bothered, and then I end up quitting. And I think that's one thing that if all of us was to do better, we'd be able to achieve our goals a lot easier. Yeah. Is basically just not take baby steps, but
understand the time frame, set your goal, be accountable to somebody as well. I think a lot of us, like you're saying, don't want to be held accountable by somebody that will tell you, man up, you bitch. Yep. Like, what are you doing? Like, oh, I don't want to get up today. Do you know what? I used to go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning and get up at 12 o'clock in the day. That's how my lifestyle was. So then it's like, you know what, if my lifestyle needs to change, then I need to go to bed at 10 o'clock and get up at 5 o'clock, because if I'm moaning about not having enough time, I need to get up before everyone else gets up in the house, go for my run, go to the gym, get back into the house, get the kids ready for school, which the missus does, but the missus joins me at the gym every day as well. So take the kids to school, come back, do my work. If I want to, I can go back to the gym, go back to work, pick up the kids from school. So it's about the routine that you create yourself. Yep. People tell me that they ain't got nothing to do. The father used to tell me, I can't train because I do a lot with my kids. Then you sit down with them. What do you need to do? Give me what you do during the day. I take my kids to football. So while your kids at football, why don't you go for a jog? Yeah. But you got half an hour. That's all you need, because at the beginning of any routine with somebody I work with, all I want is 30 minutes, because anything else is too much for you. Yeah. 30 minutes of your day to walk or run, do push-ups, do sit-ups. Don't even go to the gym. If you want to go to the gym, go to the gym. But if it's going to affect what I tell you to do, don't do it. 30 minutes. And then after 2 weeks of that, we'll make it 45 minutes. Then we'll increase the intensity. Oh yeah, but he's playing football. So now you're just making an excuse.
Yeah, stop using that as an excuse.
Yeah. Oh, lunchtime. What do you do at your lunchtime at work? You've got 30 minutes lunch, 45-minute lunch. I just eat lunch, go for a jog.
Mm.
No, well, yeah, what do you eat for your lunchtime? I normally stop for a shop. Well, make a sandwich. Stop doing that. And it's like simple things like that, they just can't comprehend, because the narrative they tell themselves is that I'm a busy father.
Yeah.
I'm too busy to take part in that. Reality is you're managing your time shit.
Yeah. Do you think that it gets worse when people have kids because they can use that as an excuse? Or you just think it's a general, people are just...
I will say, obviously, it's a general thing. People like to make excuses. People give themselves an excuse for anything. And like I said, I still do it now. Not so much with fitness. Actually, I did it today with fitness. I was meant to walk because, like I said, my knee's hurting. So where we live, obviously, going up to Trinity, there's a big hill.
Yep.
I planned myself in the morning to walk up that hill because I knew it was going to be hard on me. Like, go out for a 10K walk up that hill, walk down the other hill. I got halfway up the hill and said, I'm turning left here. I turned left. So I give up on myself. And I felt like a dickhead. Once I got home, it's like, I would have done that. Why didn't I do that? Because I would have made the walk 25% harder for myself, which would have made me 25% better at the end of this. And I looked at the hill halfway up and I'm going Shirley. And it's like, Thomas, you're a dickhead. Like, why did you do that? You actually giving... But then how many of us actually sit down and reflect on what we did like that? Like, every day I don't do something I'm meant to do, I look back and I say, obviously, I big myself up for successes, but I'm not scared to tell myself you're a dickhead for not doing what you're meant to do.
Yeah, that's something that I'm working on as well. I literally, say, for example, if I'm at the gym and I know I can do an extra 3 reps and I don't because I don't want to do it because I don't want the pain or whatever. I literally tell myself, like, no, why didn't you do those 3 reps? Like,
100%.
It's only going to make you better.
Man, you're only cheating yourself.
Yeah, literally.
That's the only person you're cheating. There's a big group of us that go to the gym together, right, in the morning. At points, it's like 20 of us.
I was going to say, I like that stuff. It's pretty crazy. And what's the age range? Is it mainly just fathers or is there youngsters?
No, the youngest person that come with, there was a 17-year-old that come with us last week.
Oh, okay, cool.
But the majority, they're probably 25 to 39. I'm probably the oldest there. Vast variety of stuff. We've got world champion Muay Thai boxer, obviously ex-footballer. We've got boxers, we've got normal dads, carpenters, wide variety of us that go there. And we go there to support each other. But the best thing about that group, because we have a WhatsApp group, is people aren't scared to call each other out. And they're actually shouting out that people need to call each other out. If you're not performing to your best, or if you miss a set, or if, like, we do time stuff a lot, so 50 burpees in 2 minutes,
I've
stuff
seen
like
it.
that. And it's like, I'm quite quick on the burpees, right? So if normally someone is slower than me, beats me to 50, I need to call them out because you've cheated yourself. Yeah. And you're not only cheating yourself, you're cheating the group because you're saying you've done something and you didn't do it. And that's where the support comes in for growth in the community, because I'm not calling you out of hate. I'm calling you out of love because you said you've done something and you need to be honest. As a grown man, you need to be honest about what you do. And if you can't do it, you should be putting your hand up and say, I can't do it. It's going to take me longer. And that helps that helps numb the ego, because now I'm okay with criticism. I'm okay with not finishing. I'm okay with that. And these guys will help support me getting me there. But when you're constantly being bombarded with social media, like perfection, that's when you get scared and the ego kicks in, because I can't be worse. Yeah,
no, literally. And I think social media, especially when it comes to the fitness industry, you don't see a lot of the fails that people post. You always see them hitting the PR or them feeling good. You never really see what it's like when you're in the trenches, fighting demons, trying to go to the gym. And like you said, me personally, I think working out with other people is the best thing.
Yeah.
I'm at the moment working by myself. I used to work with my friend, but then he snaked me. And it's difficult, like he would push me or I would push him to do those extra reps. And I just think having that, we'll call it like what you say, a community, is so important, especially when it comes to physical activity. But yeah, how can anyone join your sessions?
You know what? It got to a point where not everyone can join, but if you walk up and, like, obviously we train David Lloyd Beckham. So if you walk up and just have a conversation with one of the guys, I'm sure they'll just say come in or not to come in, because like I said, David Lloyd are very much on the fact that we were taking up a lot of treadmills and a lot of space, and we're not a class. So we split up into 2 groups. So you can't just join in because it's not a group, it's a group of friends that work together. But you can have a conversation and see, you know what, can I join in and see where it goes?
So is it mainly, what's the main focus of the training? Because I know you, like you said, you do a lot of burpees. Is it circuit based?
It's weird. So there's 2 parts of the session normally 3 parts of the session. So we normally have a cardio set part of the session, a strength part of the session, and then a finisher. So the cardio session is normally sprint work incorporated with maybe burpees. So you do 1 minute on the treadmill, see how far you can get through all the different speeds, and then get off 12 burpees, 30-second rest, go again, or in pairs. Weights is normally, yesterday we did German volume training, and then we go on to a finisher, which I think yesterday was devil press, which is a burpee with 2 dumbbells. So you do the burpee with dumbbells, and then you had to do like 50 each or something like that. So it's 10, you get with a pair, 10, 10, 10, till you get 50 as quickly as possible. The purpose is that just to make you stronger, mentally stronger, physically stronger, to push you to parts where you never thought you could get. And the greatest thing about it, and this is what I missed at the beginning of my journey, was everybody's welcome, no matter what fitness level you are at, because you will find your pace on the treadmill. I'm better than what I was 2 years ago, but I'm not as fit as my brother, as the other people who are running on 20 kilometers per hour on the treadmill. I'm like on 14 looking at them flying, but then there's people on 10 looking at me flying. I didn't realize that at the start of my journey. At every step of your way, there's someone looking at you as if you're better than them. When you're at a point, it's like, I'm shit, and you're beating yourself up. Someone's looking at you thinking, oh my, I wish I could be you. I wish I could be going to the gym. If they're better than you on treadmill, I wish I had the time to go to the gym as you. But you made that step to become better. There's no one better than you.
Yeah, exactly. What was I going to say? I was going to say a quote, but it's left my mind. It was about... Thomas left my mind. My mind's gone blank.
Sorry, I spoke too long. You were holding it in.
But I was going to say, on that point, the comparison of FIFA joy, that's it. There's always someone out there that has it worse than you.
100%.
Regardless of whether it's fitness, money, job-wise, there's always someone that is either looking up to you in a worse position, and vice versa.
We're all victims, man. We're all victims. And until you're ready to stop playing the victim card, you're going to forever be a victim. And that's one thing I refuse to do, refuse to let my children do, is play the victim. You're not a victim. You can triumph over anybody. Anybody says anything to you, do you know what? It's down to you how you react to that.
Yeah.
You can stay there and punch them in their face, but is that really you that reacted to that? Or you could shake their hand and say, fuck you, and walk off. It's down to you, man. I'm not a victim.
Yeah, I think the moment that you react to something, you've let that situation or circumstance control you.
Yeah, it's down to you to decide what you want to do. Yeah. So if you react out of anger and punch them, like there's a time and a place for everything. But if you do it and you didn't really mean to do that and you regret it, then so be it, man. Like I said, I think once you've done something, draw a slate under it as well, and then we learn from that.
Yeah, definitely. Just we're at the time, we've got 15 minutes left. Going back to your weight loss journey, what's one piece of advice that you could give to someone that's in a situation where they want to lose weight? What would be your biggest advice to that person?
First advice would be reach out to me.
That's it.
Reach out to me. But no, really, the first piece of advice would be start slow. Start slow. Get off the bus half hour early and walk the rest of the way. Don't go too fast. Set realistic goals, and don't download PDF stuff off Google. Not worth your while.
What was one of the worst things that you saw in those PDFs? Because whenever I do, I'm quite skeptical when it comes to buying these sort of gym programs. I don't know.
There was one exercise from a well-renowned trainer, and there's no levels to this shit. They just tell you to do it. Yeah. So that's why it's so terrible. And it was a leg day, and I swear to God, my legs have never felt the same after. It was the worst leg day I've ever done. I got to the end, but my legs never felt the same for a week. It was horrible. But again, that's me. I didn't have no one explain to me where I should be starting, how I should start. Am I prepared for this? What level of training am I? You know what, leg day, he's big and strong. I want to be like him, so I have to train like him. He's probably never done that workout. He's got a PDF and got a pen and paper and said, this looks hard, people do it, they're going to know how hard it is. So PDFs are bollocks.
Did you pay for it? Was it free or?
Mate, Google, you can find anything for free.
Yeah, literally.
Google hard enough. Get onto Reddit. Get on find someone's downloaded it on there for you to download.
Yeah, because the thing about, like I said, I had a PT on the last episode, and we were talking about how just because it works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for me.
100%.
Especially with a program, just because it's got certain exercises on there, cool, they may work for you, but I may not feel the contraction. I may not feel good when I do that.
I think for me, like I said, I try to communicate daily with my clients, so they can reach me on WhatsApp or on my app directly, and we communicate directly. I want to know how they're feeling, why they're feeling it, and how we can move forward. Because at any point, if there's a stumbling block, if I'm not there to help you, I let you down.
Yeah.
But then, as I've said, we struggle as men to ask for help. Men struggle to ask for help. So it's my job as a coach to reach out to you on a continuous basis to make sure you're okay. And as a coach, not a PDF document, if I don't reach out to you or if I don't see change over a period of time, I have to do that. Otherwise, you're going to fail. And if you fail, I fail.
Yeah. Because they're looking up to you.
Yeah, I'm their leader in that principle. You've reached out to me to coach you to be better, and I've left you alone, or I haven't done my job. So my job is to not just to get you healthy and lose weight, but to make sure you know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and making sure it works for you.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, if any of you are struggling to lose weight, Tom's the guy. I'm sure he's more than happy to help you guys. Well, obviously, we'll leave his details in the bottom. But I think due to time, I think it's time for the quiz now, Tom. Are you ready?
No, there's not some mad questions.
No. How is your general knowledge in general?
Shit.
So yeah, you have, it's like
Can I use my dyslexia as an excuse?
No, remember why is it not allowing me to change? So you have 3 minutes. Basically quick fire round.
Yeah.
And that's it really. Why is the timer taking long? Okay. It's really, really slow. Okay, we'll use my phone. What's the timer? Okay. So yeah, the whole reason I do a quiz, I mentioned it in my last episode. Obviously, endless race, it's a game. So I was thinking, how can I incorporate a game?
At the end, yeah.
So I was thinking, why not test my guests on their general knowledge?
Is there a little leaderboard going on as well?
Yeah, there's a little leaderboard as well. So you'll be, depending on what you get, you have to beat 9 because there's only one person on there at the moment. He got 9.
Okay, so second is at the moment.
Yeah, second's at the bottom. But okay, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do this. 3,
2, 1, go. Who was the first president of the United States?
George Washington?
Yes. What is the capital of Australia?
Melbourne?
No.
Sydney? Give a pass.
Okay. What is the largest continent in the world?
Africa?
Asia.
Asia?
Yeah. Who wrote the novel To Kill a Mockingbird?
Pass.
Which country was the first to host the modern Olympic Games?
Greece.
Yes. Yep. Who was the first man to walk on the moon?
Lance Armstrong. No, Buzz Aldrin.
You got the last name right. Armstrong was his first name.
Neil.
Yes, that's it. What is the highest mountain in North America?
Just pass that one straight away.
Denali. Who discovered the theory of relativity?
Einstein.
Yes. Who won the FIFA Women's World Cup in 2019?
England. No. Wait, when did England win it? USA?
Yep, USA, yep. What is the name of the currency used in Switzerland?
Euro.
Nope.
Nah, they got their own shit.
Swiss franc. Who was the last emperor of the Roman Empire?
Don't know.
I can't even pronounce that name. What is the largest lake in Africa?
Pass.
It was Lake Victoria. Which element has the symbol Hg on the periodic table?
Hg. Helium.
Mercury.
Makes no sense. Carry on.
Who painted the ceiling of Senate Chapel?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Michelangelo.
I knew it was one of the turtles, man.
What is the national animal of Canada?
Moose.
Beaver.
Right,
Yeah.
taking liberties.
Don't worry, you're doing all right. You're doing all right. What is the capital of Sweden?
Stockholm.
Yes, nice one. Who invented the World Wide Web?
Mr. Webb, I don't know.
Tim Berners-Lee. Didn't know that.
You should only be allowed to ask questions that you know the answer to. But carry on, yeah?
What is the smallest country in the world?
Monaco.
Vatican City. Who won the FIFA World Cup in 2006? Men's FIFA World Cup.
Brazil.
Italy. Who wrote the novel War and Peace?
I don't know, I have a clue.
Leo Tossi. What is the largest desert in the world?
Sahara.
Nice one. And then this is the last one. What is the name of the largest ocean Sorry. What is the largest ocean in the world?
Pacific.
Yes. Nice one. I don't know what you got there, but I'm sure
I got 12.
I think you beat, yeah. I think you beat 9. But nice one. So the reason how I generate these questions, I know you've heard of Chat GBT. So I literally just go on there.
Just random questions.
Yeah. I literally just go on there and
You know that Kill a Mockingbird.
I mean,
On the internet.
so I just literally get that AI just to generate a mixture of hard and easy questions. No, not at all. So just a few questions that I ask all my guests at the end of the pod. If you could have any superpower, what would it be, and how would it impact the world? Could be anything.
No, it's weird because I'd love to live forever. But I don't like the idea of my family dying around me. That's the only reason that I wouldn't pick that one. If I could have any superpower in the world.
And it would impact...
Mind control.
Okay. And how would you use that superpower to impact the world?
Because if they didn't agree with me, I'd change their mind.
In what respect?
I'd rule the world. I'd change the whole world.
For a positive impact?
Well, for my positive impact.
Yeah.
Don't know about everyone else's, but I'd be positive.
Yeah, because my guest didn't really understand it. It was allow every person that I would touch, allow them to manifest and visualize their goals in their mind. Okay. So whether they wanted to lose weight, they would be able to see it in their mind. Because once you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand, right?
Yeah, that's nice, man. I just want to rule the world.
But then he counteracted with it, was like, what happens if that gets in the wrong hands of someone's and they want to take over the world? And I didn't think about that. So it was a very good counter argument. But I think, if a lot of people are able to visualize their goals, a lot of people, for the positive side of things.
I have faith in the human race. I think most of us are positive. So, yeah, I think that's a nice power.
Yeah.
I still want to change people's minds, so I rule the world.
Yeah. Another one. If you could return back to 15-year-old Tom, and you could hand him a note on a piece of paper, whether that be advice or whatever, what would be on that piece of paper to tell, knowing what you know now?
I did a thing about this a couple of years ago where I got all my friends to write a note to themselves when they were 15, right? So mine would simply say, I did have a long piece, but making it smaller is just do you. That's literally, there'll be no advice because I'm happy where I am and I wouldn't change anything. Okay. Just do you.
Just do you. Yeah, I like that one. I think a lot of us are trying to chase this people that we see on social media. Yeah. Like you said before, just stay in your lane, just do you.
Just
and simply.
Man. I don't want to change nothing. I don't want you to be anything. You're enough and you will be enough. And you needed all of life's experiences for me at 15 to become me at 39. I needed everything. Yep. If I change anything, I could be different. I could lose my family. I could lose my children. I could experience anything differently and not be where I am sitting here in front of you today. So.
Yeah, no, it's a very good answer. Another one, maybe you think you may have one off the top of your head, but what is one quote that you live by that in times of doubt, in terms of when you're not feeling motivated, when you're waking up, going for your runs, what is that one quote that you kind of live by that will get off your ass and say, Tom, let's get it?
I think I said it a couple of times so far. Stop being a bitch. just, yeah, and I don't mean that to refer to any women. I just mean stop being a bitch, Thomas. Just like,
Just
get
man
up,
up.
just do it. Look in the mirror. Who are you? Stop being a bitch, man. That's not you. And I'm not saying it works every single time,
Yeah.
but them times when I'm just sitting in bed and it's like, stop being a bitch, Thomas. Like,
Just get up.
yeah, just do it.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I definitely do say that to myself a lot of the time. Just man up, man. Just get up and do it.
100%.
Stop being, if I can say it, stop being soft and just man up.
Yeah, then there's nothing wrong with being soft either.
Exactly.
But when it's time to get something done, you got to get your head in gear and stop being that bitch.
Yeah, no, literally. So with all of my guests, I'll get you to do the same. I don't know what the question is.
Okay, yeah.
But I get all my guests to write a question in this booklet, and you get to answer it. And then obviously you will do the same. So you will write out one after.
Yeah. All right, where's the pen? Or do I have to answer it on there?
No. You answer it. Yeah, you speak it.
Okay, something you admire about the person sitting opposite you. Well, obviously, me and Mary don't know each other like that, but I've known him and seen his progress. Like, what I've seen you do, obviously, with FBA?
Yeah, FBA.
Your basketball skills, how you managed the young people when you was coaching the basketball, and also like making this come to eye. Like, you're kind of inspiring, especially people my age and younger, that just have a goal, have a dream, and just aim for it. Yeah, don't let no one persuade you anything else. You're enough.
yeah, literally. I see. What was the question? I don't even know what it was.
What is something you admire about the person sitting opposite you?
Oh, okay, I like that one. Makes you, nice one, Luke. So what I'll do is after the pod, I'll get you to write one out as well.
Yeah.
To ask my guests. So my next guest is I've got two people. I've got two guests next time. But that wraps us up, Tom. I don't know if you wanna. So that's the camera. I don't know if you wanna. Wow, that was poor.
Yeah.
Where can they find you? Where can I ask you for help? Where can they find you on Instagram, social media?
Instagram, Thomas Scannell, Fitter Father. Facebook, Thomas Didymus Scannell. Websites should be going live anytime soon, thomasscannell.co.uk. But like I said, best place is Instagram, which is Thomas Scannell.
Perfect. Thank you. Tom, it's been a pleasure having you. I really enjoyed the episode. I wish you all the best with your fitness journey and your Fitter Fathers. I do love the progress, seeing it every morning, because obviously it truly does make me want to get up and go to the gym as well.
Good.
I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I will catch you on the next one.